Welcome back to Mornings with Jaresha. How are you doing? Happy hump day, happy Wednesday. I hope that you're having an amazing week. I hope that you have been working on your goals, your dreams, and your purpose. I almost said happy Thursday because I feel like today should be Thursday. Do you feel like that too? I feel like it should be Thursday. And all day yesterday, I kept saying it's Wednesday. No, no, no. Today's Wednesday. So I hope that you guys are having an amazing week so far. Now, I had an opportunity to talk about my takeaways in one of the earlier shows this week. My takeaways from when I went to go see the movie The Woman King. And I had every intention of talking about one of my biggest takeaways and just my whole thought and my reflection of the movie yesterday, and that is not the direction that the show went, and so I just went with the flow. And I hope you can understand that sometimes we just have to kind of go with the flow, and I did that. And so today my intention is to really dive into the warrior within us, because I feel like we all have that warrior within us. Okay, so you have that fighter in you, even if you think you don't, you do. You have that within you. And so I really wanted to tap into that because I really feel like it was worth dedicating a whole entire show to just talking about that and how we truly need to unleash that warrior within us. And so I'm really, really excited because, again, all of this came from going to see that amazing movie, The Woman King. And so when I think about the warrior, the fighter that is within us, let's just really put it out there. So when I think about a warrior, most of us would say we think about that a warrior is focused, determined, and most of all, really fearless, right? So fearless. The warrior will go after whatever it wants and won't take no for an answer. So so I'm asking you today, where is your warrior? And if you feel like you don't have that warrior, how can you develop that warrior mindset? Because that's truly what we want to make sure we're having as we're focused on our goals, our dreams, and our purpose. We want to be focused, determined, and fearless and go after whatever it is that you may want and never take no for an answer, right? So that's what we're doing. We're talking about that warrior and truly the moves that we want to make as a warrior. Because ultimately, we want to be on the path of getting what we want and living a bigger and better life, right? So that's what it's all about, is how can you truly unleash unleash your warrior and really unleash your greatness. So however you want to look at it, unleashing your greatness, activating your greatness, unleashing your warrior is truly all about having that warrior mindset, and not just once a week, once a month, but how can you have that mindset every single day? So again, and this whole thought process that I was going through, I was like, you know what, this is amazing. And again, I go back to the movie because it was truly amazing and just full of so many nuggets. And so one of the first things that I was thinking about, as far as like warriors and how warriors move, and truthfully, all of the items that I'm going to share is how the warriors in that movie really moved as well. And so how as I share these, think about how you can really apply these to your own life, right? How you can apply it to your life in all of the areas of your life, be it your relationships, in your finances, spiritually, personal and professional development, in your health and wellness. How can you apply it to your life so that you can be on the path to getting what you want and living the life that you deserve, you desire, living that life that you want? So, one of the first things that I think about is, as a warrior, we have to be willing to break away, break free, right? So when you think about breaking away, what are those things that are holding you prisoner? So what are the things that are holding you prisoner? And you can think about that as saying, okay, what are the things that is got me in shackles? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's uh, limiting beliefs. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe it's pain. Maybe it's the fact that you haven't forgiven yourself or even perhaps forgiven someone else. Maybe you have all this pain, you have all this hurt that's built up and it's holding you prisoner. And so we have to be willing to break from that. And we have to be willing to break that down and first say, okay, this is, if I'm going to make moves like a warrior and I know that I need to be able to break away, what are those items? What are those things that's in my life, externally, internally, that I need to break away from? What is it that's holding you prisoner? Because you can't you can't walk into your warrior and be great as a warrior when you are still being held captive, when something is still holding you. So in order for you to, say, you know what, I'm going to break free. It's time for me to unleash these shackles. It's time for me to break free. I have to really get clear on what is it that's holding me back. What is it that has me captive? Isn't that so good? That's so good, because if you sit down and really begin to tap into what you feel like may be holding you back, you have no idea how much you really might discover about yourself. So, what are you a prisoner right now? Are you a warrior, yet you are a prisoner and being held captive by something in your life? Those are a couple of questions I need you to ask yourself. And then whatever that thing is, we need to always be asking more questions. Why? Why is that holding you captive? I think this internal thing is so powerful because a lot of us, we have put shackles on ourselves. And the bad part about it is we hold the key. We can take the shackles off, and yet we haven't even sat down to even begin to move in a direction of taking the shackles off. We're just walking around with shackles, carrying on with our everyday life like it's what's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be shackled. You're not supposed to be held captive. You're not supposed to be a prisoner of whatever is holding you back in your relationships, in your finances, in your personal professional development. Spiritually, you're not supposed to be held captive. So what are you going to do in order for you to begin to break away? Think about that. Now, one of the other moves that warriors will do is focus, right? So as a warrior, you're going to focus on your target. Focus on that target. That is, what is your passion? What drives you? What is your dream? You have to sit down and tap into that so that you know what your target is. Whatever that target may be, in order for you to pursue it, in order for you to push forward, you have to get clear on what that is. And then you have to do the work, right? You have to do the work. We have to understand that our success and, what happens next, the results that we get, comes from your actions, your behavior, what you're doing. And let's be clear, if you are still being held captive, you can't focus on a target. You have to break free from whatever's holding you captive before you can begin to focus on anything. And so that's how we go on this journey of discovery. We go on this journey of personal growth and developing and really learning more about ourselves, so that we know what's keeping us captive in order for us to focus. right? Because what normally happens, think about this. If you are in shackles, the only thing that you're thinking about is whatever is keeping you captive. So you can't even think about your passion. You can't even think about your dreams. You can't think about anything else besides whatever has you captive. That is exactly why, again, we have to go through that assessment. We have to really get clear on, what's holding us back so that we can push forward. So again, we want to break away. We want to focus on the target. And then we also want to really practice control. Okay. So practice control and also challenge. And so I say practicing control and challenge because as a warrior, you have to have a level of control. You have to have a level of control, and that's, going down to discipline and knowing how if you're focused on a target, you can't get distracted. You have to keep your eyes on your passion. You have to keep your eyes on your goals and your purpose and walk into that and not let distractions come to take you off or remove that, to take your focus off of that target. It's very, very, very important for us to have the control and then also challenge ourselves. And with that challenge, that is where you're going to step outside of your comfort zone. So for most of us, if we think about, unleashing that warrior within us, that's already a step. Like we're going to have to take a step outside of our comfort zone in order for us to even tap into unleashing the warrior within us. So one of the other moves that you must make as a warrior, if you're looking to unleash that inner warrior, it is action, action, action. You have to take action. You have to execute action. We don't realize it, but everything comes down to the action, the moves that you're going to make. And if you don't have an execute mindset, an action mindset that is going to drive you every single day, how in the world do you expect to accomplish your goals and fulfill your dreams and walk into your purpose? You have to take action and you have to know what that action looks like. And it's daily. So you don't get to, as a warrior, only make moves one day of the week. Oh, I'm going to do this one on Wednesday. No, absolutely not. As a warrior, you show up every single day ready to make the moves that you need to move for you because you deserve it. And it's something that you want. So we have to take the action and we have to make sure that the narrative that we're speaking over ourselves, into ourselves, matches up with the action that we're wanting to take. I say all the time that, you don't realize that your lack of action and how it translates to your behavior and your beliefs. And if you believe in yourself, then you're going to be willing to take the action that you need to take. Belief drives behavior. Behavior drives results. Belief drives behavior. Behavior drives results. I think we may need to write that down and put it up somewhere so you can see that every single day. Your narrative has to match up. If your narrative is not right, then your behavior is not going to be right. And guess what? You're not going to have the results that you desire. So make sure as you are unleashing your warrior that you are prepared to take the action and have the narrative that's going to go along with it. Now, one of the other things that I feel like as a warrior, and it was so evident in the movie The Woman King, is you have to think big, do big, go big. Everything is big. Okay, you have to go big and bring everything you have to the table. When you go to battle, when you go to fight, you have to bring everything you have within you. That is you showing up as the highest version of yourself. Can you truly say, if you were to think about yesterday, can you truly say that you got up and gave it all that you had? Did you show up as the highest version of yourself? Or did you only show up with about 85% of you? And when I say show up, I'm not just talking about your goals, your dreams, your purpose. I'm talking about anything and everything that you're doing. In your 9 to 5 job, are you showing up as 85%, or are you showing up at the percentage of all of you and really showing up as the highest version of yourself with everything that you're doing, with everything that you're attached to, with everything that you're aligned with? We can't leave nothing on the table when it comes down to you and what you're striving for and what you're wanting, your goals, your dreams, your purpose. So ask yourself, as a warrior, are you showing up as the highest version of you? Are you doing things big? Or are you still thinking really, really small and doing things small because you're scared, because of fear? Because if that is the thing, then I will tell you that you need to go back to breaking away. You need to go back to break away. If you feel like you can't go big and show up as the highest version of you, then there's still some things that you need to break away from. See, this journey is so real. It's so real. And for all of us, it's different, but we all want the success. We all want to be able to unleash our greatness. We all want to walk into our purpose and accomplish our goals and fulfill our dreams. And it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter at what part in your journey you're at, whether, you're in a 9 to 5 or you're stepped into entrepreneurship or you're in college. It does not matter where you're at in your journey, because a warrior is there no matter where you're at. So your inner warrior is with you at all times. But are you actually unleashing it? Are you unleashing your warrior? Or are you continuing to be held captive? Are you continuing to be held captive by you? Isn't that something to make you think about today? That's something to make you think about. See, listen, when I go to movies that I feel like is really going to empower there are so many things that I pull from them that I'm just like, this is so amazing. This is so great that I need to share this because it empowered me. It made me really dive into some deep thinking. And I hope that today that this is going to do the same thing for you. Because I believe you are a warrior. I believe whatever it is that you have going on in your life right now, that you can overcome. You can release those shackles. You do not need to be held captive. But guess what? It's your choice. Only you have the key to say, you know what? I'm taking these shackles off. Because when you have shackles on, you can't move. You can't move the way that you need to move. And as a warrior, you need to be able to move. You need to be able to break free. You need to be able to focus. You need to be able to really challenge yourself and step out of that comfort zone. You need to be able to take action, and you need to be able to give it every last bit of everything that you have. So are you going to continue to be held captive? Or are you ready to break free? Are you ready to break free? Because it's power and you being able to break free. It's power in your warrior. But you have to be willing to say, that's it. I'm unleashing. That's it. I'm done. I'm done being held captive. I'm done letting this stop me. I am no longer going to be captive to my situation, to my circumstances. It's time. Y'all know it is time. It is time. It is time. It is time for you to break free. It is time for you to let your warrior come out. It's time for you to put in the fight. It's time for you to execute on your goals, your dreams, and your purpose. It is time for you to get serious about the life that you deserve and the life that you desire and deserve. It is time for you. It's time to execute, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go.